Shabbat Shalom!
We are so happy to be here with all of you tonight, celebrating and welcoming in Shabbat. My name is Rabbi Alexandra Stein, and I'm delighted to be here with Cantor Mike Lee, with our wonderful band who helps make Shabbat so special, with two wonderful B'nai Mitzvah students who will help us lead our service later today, and also with all of you. The prayer book we're using for this service is this Mishkan Tefillah, which was outside of the doors as you walked in. And we're delighted to be here with you.
We're going to sing a special song called Sweet as Honey, and you can actually find the words for that song on page 202. And the reason I chose to sing this song at this time of year is because of this following story. There's a Jewish tradition that when someone is starting school, starting their education, they actually lick honey in the shape of the Aleph Bet, the Hebrew alphabet, because learning and Torah and these letters and words should be so, so sweet to us. So I know this is a back to school season, a back to temple season for many of us. So we're going to sing Sweet as Honey, page 202.
As we welcome in Shabbat and the sweetness of Shabbat, we also welcome one another. So we'd love to invite you to take a moment, and to pull this off, you might need to lean across a row or something you'll see, and say hello and Shabbat Shalom, and introduce yourself to somebody nearby who maybe you didn't walk in the door with, but now get to be making community with. So it is now a pleasure to invite up to help us light the Shabbat candles and welcome in Shabbat the moms of our two Banot Mitzvah. So we'd love to invite up Naomi and Carolyn to please come light candles and help us welcome in Shabbat. If you'd like to follow along, we are in page 4 in the prayer books.
God began the world by saying, "Let there be light." We begin Shabbat with candlelight, saying, "Baruch atah Adonai." God finished creating the world by making Shabbat a holy day. We make Shabbat a holy day for ourselves. May the warm glow of these candles remind us of God's light, and may this Shabbat be a special day, a special holy time for us.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
We wave in Shabbat with our hands, cover our eyes, come in Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom. We continue welcoming and greeting Shabbat with the Psalms of Shabbat. Lecha Dodi is on page 9. We'll sing 4 verses of Lecha Dodi, and during the final verse, I'll invite everyone who's comfortable to stand up and face the door as we welcome in Shabbat. Page 9. rise once again as we're comfortable for Baruch. We're on page 22.
The next prayer that we'll sing together, Ahavat Olam, is on page 28, and it's about the ways that the love that we receive in the world, including from God, but also from other people, can help us show love to other people. So we want to ask you to think about what is one way that someone who you love, who loves you, has shown you love, or that you've shown love to somebody else, and to hold that in your mind if you want as we sing these next few prayers. the Shema is on page 34, which doesn't have any numbers, but it's this page that's yellow with a huge shin in the middle.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please have a seat, and we'll continue on the next page. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'techa uvlektecha b'derech uvshofbecha uvkumecha ukshartam neot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha Uchtavtam amezusot betecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelohehem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeeti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Lihiot Lachem, Le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem. We continue with our freedom song, Mi Chamocha, which today we are going to be singing the words of from our paper programs. To come along for a little bit of an imagination adventure with me, because I actually want us to pretend that we are our ancestors, the Israelites, really standing at the sea about to maybe cross to freedom. And what happens? What do we see? We look behind us. Can everyone show me how they look behind them? Who is coming up behind us? Does anyone have an idea? Someone who wants to bring us back to Egypt, and we don't want to go back to Egypt. Anyone have an idea? Could it be Pharaoh? Coming up behind me, they're coming up behind me, they're coming up behind me, freedom's on our way, freedom, 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 freedom is on our way. Now, what's going to happen is, are we going to go back to Egypt? No. Are we going to go back to Egypt? No. Does anyone remember what happens? A great miracle happens. Can anyone? Yes. Can anyone show me with their hands what happens? Does the sea part? Yes, the sea parts. We're going to cross the sea, absolutely. But first, the sea parts. The sea she parts. Show me the sea she parts. The sea she parts. Freedom's on our way. Now we're walking through the water, all right? We're marching through, walking through the water. If anyone wants to stand up and show me how, I'm going to do it. Walking through the water. We're walking through the water. We're walking through the water. Walking through the water.
on the other side. We're on the other side. We're on the other side. Freedom is on our way. And what will we do when we get to the other side? How do we celebrate? Anyone have any ideas? Anyone have any ideas? How do you want to celebrate? I hear some singing and dancing, and that is exactly what our ancestors did. Singing and dancing. Singing and dancing. Viva Boca. Singing and dancing. Viva Boca. Singing and dancing. Viva Boca. Freedom is on our way. Last time, freedom. 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 Freedom is on our way.
After we sing about freedom, we have another chance to sing about what we hope for really soon, what we hope for tonight, that we can all be safe and happy and protected tonight. And so before we sing the Hashkivenu, let's read together on page 43 at the top. You are with us at all times, God, when we sleep and when we wake. When it is dark, we turn to you for light. When we are afraid, we turn to you for courage. When we feel weak, we turn to you for strength. Be with us tonight and always. Help us to know you are there.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. The words are in your program. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Shalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. We continue singing our special prayer for Shabbat, Vishamru, on page 44. I'll hope you'll join me in singing if you know it. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. Sheshet Yamim, 6 days, Asa Adonai, Et HaShamayim, the sky, Ve'et Haaretz, the land, Ve'shamru Bnei Israel, Et HaShabbat, Lazot et HaShabbat, V'toratam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i, on the 7th day, Shabbat vayinafash. It was time for rest. Show me how you rest. Shabbat vayinafash. Shabbat vayinafash. Let's hear you. Shamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat, Lazot et HaShabbat, V'toratam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat, Lazot et HaShabbat, V'toratam berit olam. Please rise if you're able. We're on page 46 for the Amidah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. Let's read together in English on page 51. We are mighty like God when we help other people. We are powerful like God when we make peace in our families. We are strong like God when we feed the poor. We are great like God when we care for the sick. We are awesome like God when we help people to be free. We are amazing like God when we take care of our earth. O God, as we remember all the heroic things you do, we promise to try to be like you. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. You may be seated. Part of our evening prayers is a prayer called Modim. We say Modim anachnu lach, and we acknowledge what we're grateful for, what we have thanks for. And that's part of Shabbat, is remembering all of the good things we have in our lives. So I want everyone to take one moment, maybe close your eyes, and think about something you're thankful for, something you're grateful for. And if you want, after the service, you can share with your grown-up, you can share with myself or Rabbi Stein. We'd love to hear what you're grateful for. So keep that in your brain, hold on to it, and we can't wait to hear what are those things that are bringing you joy and making your week special. We also so desperately need peace in our world. We sing together a special prayer for peace on page 60, our first of 2 prayers for peace in this service. That's how much we need peace, that we sing about it multiple times. So I hope you'll join me in singing Shalom Rav, page 60. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim let's take a moment and sit quietly, privately with our prayers of our hearts, or maybe the prayers you want to read from the prayer book. We'll come back together in just another moment for another prayer for peace. Everyone with those fingers up, we need this. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom.
We take a moment every Shabbat to think of people we love or who we've just met who are in need of healing and who we would like to send good thoughts and prayers that they can feel better soon, whether they are in need of healing of their body or whether they're just not feeling so well. So we would love to invite everyone here, as my hand moves around the room, if you're thinking of someone tonight who you would like to add to our Mishaberach Lecholim, our Mishaberach for those who are in need of healing, please say their name out loud as my hand moves around the room, and then we will sing together on pages 124 and 125. We pray for healing for them all.
Mishaberach
Something else we get to do sometimes on Shabbat is tell stories. So this is a story by the Maggid of Dubnov, which means the storyteller from Dubnov. He also had a name, but he loved stories so much that they just called him the storyteller. And he lived a few hundred years ago. And he wondered, how can we help when someone is sad because something has gone really wrong for them? What can we do to help them feel better? And this is a story that he told about that question. He said, once upon a time, there was a king who lived in a very fancy castle. What do you think this castle might have had to make it super fancy? What are some of the things castles can have that make them really awesome? What do you think? Ooh, gold and diamonds. What else? What do you think? Jewels. So these are very cool guesses, because in fact, this king had a lot of diamonds and jewels in his castle, but he had one diamond that he thought was so beautiful, more beautiful than any diamond he had ever seen. It was huge and sparkling, and it seemed to have many colors in one. And every day, he'd take the diamond out from a very safe place, and he'd hold it up to the light, and he'd look and think, wow, this is the most beautiful diamond. The world is beautiful, full of so many things that are so beautiful. And then he'd put it back in its place very carefully and close the door and wait to look until the next day. One day, he pulled out his diamond and held it up to the light when suddenly he heard a loud sound and he dropped the diamond. Has that ever happened to anybody here? Have you ever dropped something that you didn't mean to drop? And he felt very scared. He thought, oh no, what if something has happened to my diamond? And he picked it up very cautiously. It was still a whole diamond, but when he looked at the other side, there was a huge long crack on one side. He was incredibly sad and worried. He thought, oh no, this diamond, I take it out every day. It reminds me of everything that makes the world beautiful. And now it's broken. It has a crack. It's not beautiful anymore. And so he told a few people in the castle what was wrong, and they said, don't worry. We'll call in lots of experts to help with your diamond. What do you think the experts did? What would you do if you were called in to help with the diamond? What do you think? Go ahead. Okay. Absolutely, they tried to fix the diamond. They tried and they tried. Jewelers from all over the land, even people from other neighboring places came, but they couldn't fix the diamond. One day, a new jeweler from far away, who the king had never met, was visiting the kingdom, and someone told him the story of how the king had used to be a lot happier until he broke his diamond. And the jeweler said, I have an idea. So he went to look at the diamond, and at first the king wasn't sure he wanted to show it to him because he had been disappointed by so many people who had tried to fix the diamond before. But finally he said, you know what? It can't get worse than this. It's already broken. I'm so sad. Go ahead, take a look at the diamond. And so the new jeweler looked and said, okay, I can fix this, but I need some time alone. And I need a chisel, which is something that you can use sometimes to cut into rock. And the king was a little confused. He didn't know why the jeweler needed a chisel, but he gave him a chisel and some time alone and said, okay, just fix my diamond. 3 days passed. When the jeweler from out of town returned, he carried the diamond in a beautiful new box. And he said, King, I have it. I've fixed your diamond. The king was so happy, and he immediately picked up the diamond and flipped it over, and he was crushed because he saw there was still a crack, and he became very, very angry. Has anybody here ever felt really angry when something wasn't the way you expected it to be? Sometimes I feel very angry. And he was about to start yelling at the jeweler when the jeweler, who saw that his face had gotten really red and that he was not so happy, said, no, king, you missed the most important part. And he pointed to a spot just above the crack where he had used the chisel to cut a beautiful picture of a rose into the diamond. And suddenly the king saw that with this new beautiful picture, the crack, which had looked so ugly to him before, was like the beautiful stem of a rose instead. And that now when he held the diamond up to the light didn't just stream through the diamond, it also streamed through this rose. And it made him think of flowers and plants and summertime. And he was filled with so much happiness. And so the Maggid of Dubnov said, we can't always fix or change everything. Sometimes bad things happen, like the crack in this diamond, that we can't totally take away. But what we can do is ask other people for help and say, can you think of a way that I could make this situation that is hard and bad a little more beautiful than it is right now? This month, we're just starting the Jewish month of Elul, which is 1 month before our New Year, Rosh Hashanah. And one thing we do in Elul is we think about, are there things in our world or in our relationships with people we love that we can make just a little bit better? So this month, we invite everybody here to think about, how can you show up for someone who's sad like the king is and maybe help them make a rose out of something like a crack? How can we all show up for each other? We continue now with a prayer about showing up for each other. It's called the Aleinu, and it's in the very back of your prayer book. And it is a pleasure to invite the dads of our 2 Banot Mitzvah up to the bima to help us open the ark, and a pleasure to invite our 2 Banot Mitzvah, to invite Meredith and Tessa to join us in leading the Aleinu in front of the ark.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, lateit gedula leotzer breshit, shehu notei shamayim veyosed haaretz, umoshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinat uzo begovhei meromim, hu Eloheinu echad, va'anachnu You may be seated.
May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding, loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair.
Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the whole universe with joy of holiness, of freedom, and of peace.
We turn now to the Mourner's Kaddish, our prayer in memory of those who have passed away, whether in recent days or at this time in years past. Our prayer, the Kaddish, will be on page 134, and it's our community's custom to invite people who are remembering someone with the Kaddish to say their name out loud so that the rest of us can hear their name and know that you're thinking of them and that you're a person who's in mourning or in memory. And so if you're comfortable, I invite you, as my hand moves around the room, if there's anyone who you are thinking of tonight and you'd like to say their name so we can all hear their name, I'll invite you to stand up if you're comfortable, or just stay seated and say their name out loud. Zikronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. Please rise if you're comfortable as we join our mourners in solidarity for the Mourners Kaddish on page 134. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malhutei, b'chayei uvyomei uvchayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kariv, b'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam omei amaya. Yit barak v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar v'yit alev v'yit halal shemed kudsha brihu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say again, amen. Please have a seat. It is now a pleasure to invite up Jeff Sporn, the president of Motors, to bring some greetings and announcements on behalf of the board.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the TRS Executive Board and Leadership Council, I'm honored to welcome you to our worship service tonight. And congratulations to Meredith and Tessa on their big day tomorrow, and Mazel Tov to the families on this special occasion. It's great to be together, whether you're in person or joining us via streaming. If you're new to Temple Road of Shalom, it would be a joy to welcome you properly and tell you more about our wonderful community. Please feel free to approach one of our clergy or me to say hello during the Oneg Shabbat reception after the service. Please see the inside of your program for a selection of our upcoming programs, details about the high holidays, the 10 things every Reformed Jew needs to know about Reformed Judaism, Dementia Man, and Spiritual Courage and the Climate Crisis, a Dayenu workshop, all aimed at the 10-year-old or younger set. No, I'm just kidding. They're not really, but details are there, and you will find it to your rest. There's always something for you. Our entire program and calendar and details can be found in the latest edition of The Connection and on our website. We hope to see you again soon. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much, Jeff. In just a moment, we'll have Kiddush, which is on page 6, and I'll invite Meredith and Tessa to come on over here and help me lead. I also want to invite up anybody who, like me, has a September birthday to come on up and stand with us for Kiddush. You can come stand right here. If you have a September birthday, I can't be the only one here who has a September birthday. You want to come up and stand with me for your September birthday? Anyone else? There's only 2 of us. Oh my goodness. Come on up.
This is so great. We can celebrate
We'll
you.
celebrate
Very
together.
special occasion.
What's your day?
September 10th.
September 10th. That's soon. Well, happy early birthday. We are going to bless the sweetness in our lives singing Kiddush. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchinu zikaron lema'aseh
Bereshit, ki hu yom tehila, lemikra kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, michol ha'alim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'ratzon, ki chaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim and happy birthday. You can take a sip. Put it down right here, okay? I'll invite everyone to rise if they're comfortable for our concluding song. If you have a program or a prayer book in your hands and you want to bring them back with you to the back of the sanctuary when we're through with the service, I'll invite you to do so. And if you don't mind waiting at your seats just one moment for all of us on the Bima to get out into the hallway so we can greet you, we would so appreciate that. Again, we hope you'll rise and join us as we rock out one last time with Sweet as Honey on page 202. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. You guys sound great. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, la'asok b'divrei Torah, la'asok b'divrei Torah. Sweet as honey. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Let's try that one more time. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue.
We wish everyone a sweet and peaceful and wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.